Hare Krishna. Welcome to Sanatan Divyata, Eternal Divinity, and I am Padam Gupta. In continuation of a series of lectures, The Science Behind the Game of Life, I bring to you the next and the last. Learn from failure and sorrow. It may be difficult to accept, but much of our life is spent in complaining. Half our time goes in questioning. Why this? Why did this happen? Why me? Why is that others get ahead and I don't? The other half goes into asking, what will happen now? How will I or my family and I survive? We are either regretting the past or worried about the future. The intellect naturally asks questions, but then questioning can be either positive or negative, depending on the thought patterns we have cultivated through the choices we have made in our life thus far. Many of us therefore have to relearn the very art of asking good and helpful questions. Questions that are productive, meaningful, and can sustain our enthusiasm, as opposed to questions that only sap our energy and take us nowhere. Indeed, the type of question we ask, even during our introspection, are ultimately a reflection of our basic attitude towards life. When failure or sorrows come into our life, and in everyone's life they do, ideally one must, first of all, make a series of efforts to stand apart from the experience instead of being consumed by it. Seeking professional help or the advice of family and friends, or even simply the solace of nature, these are all valid means of emotional support. But at the end of the day, it cannot be denied that Sri Krishna says one must lift oneself by oneself. Faith in the Lord is undoubtedly the best recourse in every problematic situation. But at the same time, we must be very, very careful to use our faith as a guiding light rather than a crutch. Surrendering everything to Lord does not mean absolving ourselves of the responsibility to act. As the very famous saying goes, God help those who help themselves. Thus, with faith in our heart and clarity in our head, we must bring our hands into alignment with what we understand to be the best course of action at a given moment in time. Standing apart from the experience of sorrow of failures and reforming ourselves noble and thus attracting our sympathy. In truth, Arjun's statements only mask his fears owing to his attachments to his family and his ignorance of larger cosmic truths. It took a teacher, Sri Krishna, to point out to him that he had to fight not for the selfish goal of acquiring a kingdom, but for the higher goal of dharma. The material gain, most serious readers will understand, was in fact incidental to the fulfillment of a spiritual duty. Thus, we see that the science of life management actually addresses all aspects of our life. Although there is much more to be discussed as regard material and spiritual success, again for the purpose of this discourses, suffice it to say that the journey towards a successful life began with an appreciation of the fundamental concept presented herein. It is hoped that every reader will make himself or herself available to the immense wealth of knowledge embodied in the scriptures so that he or she grows forever more in personal achievement and in service of the world, reflecting the brilliance of the infinite that lies at the heart of all us. So, this was the concluding of the lectures, the science behind the game of life. I hope you have enjoyed listening to these valuable words of Swami Sarupanand ji. Please leave your views in comments for encouragement so we can provide more valuable insights for our youngsters and people who are looking for success. Please like, forward and subscribe my channel if you have not done so far, and press the bell icon to know my other episodes. Hare Krishna.